The fund's mission and values. The fund is deeply rooted in the principles of social justice and community empowerment. Their mission is to support grassroots organizations that are working tirelessly to dismantle systemic oppression and create a more equitable society. The fund's values are centered around the idea that community power is the most effective way to bring about lasting change. Prioritizing movement-building efforts. The fund prioritizes funding groups and organizations that are leading movement-building efforts. These efforts focus on harnessing community power to create transformative, systemic, and lasting social change. The fund recognizes that community power is the most effective way to bring about lasting change, and they are committed to supporting organizations that are working to build a more just and equitable society. Key characteristics of movement-building efforts include plus community-led initiatives plus grassroots organizing plus focus on systemic change plus emphasis on community empowerment. Supporting grassroots organizations. The fund is committed to supporting grassroots organizations that are working to dismantle systemic oppression and create a more equitable society. These organizations are often led by marginalized communities and are working to address issues such as racism, sexism, homophobia, and transphobia. The fund recognizes the importance of centering the voices and perspectives of marginalized communities in their funding decisions. The grant is open to groups and organizations that are not already funded by the Movement Building Fund. The Movement Building Grant. Empowering systemic change. The Movement Building Grant is a vital resource for groups and organizations working towards creating lasting, systemic change. This grant program is designed to support the efforts of those who are pushing the boundaries of social justice and advocating for a more equitable society. Eligibility and funding. The Movement Building Grant is open to groups and organizations that are not already funded by the Movement Building Fund. Applicants can request up to $10,000 in funding to support their systemic change efforts. This grant is not limited to specific causes or issues, but rather focuses on empowering groups and organizations to drive meaningful change. Key eligibility criteria. Plus must be a group or organization. Plus must not be already funded by the Movement Building Fund. Plus must be working towards systemic change. Plus must be able to demonstrate a clear plan for using the grant fund's grant application process. The grant application process is designed to be straightforward and accessible. The fund will also provide a dedicated support team to help organizations navigate the application process and address any challenges they may face. Streamlining support for frontline organizations. The Frontline Organizations Fund has been established to address the pressing need for flexible and reliable support for frontline organizations. These organizations, often operating in challenging environments, require a steady supply of resources to continue their vital work. The fund has also introduced a new grant application portal that allows applicants to submit their applications online. Streamlining the grant application process. The Foundation for Urban Neighborhoods Development Fund is taking steps to make the grant application process more accessible and efficient for applicants. One of the key initiatives is the introduction of free virtual grant application workshops. These workshops aim to demystify the application process and provide applicants with a better understanding of the funding guidelines and priorities. The workshops will cover topics such as understanding the funding priorities and goals of the fund, reviewing the application process and requirements, tips for a successful application Q&A session with fund staff. By providing these workshops, the fund is hoping to reduce the barriers that may prevent applicants from applying for grants. Pre-existing partnerships and expedited LOI process. The opportunity for pre-existing partner organizations to submit a letter of intent, LOI, is a significant development in the funding landscape. This expedited process allows organizations that have previously been funded for 3 or more funding cycles to bypass the lengthy application process and focus on addressing critical issues and advancing social change. Key benefits of the expedited LOI process: plus reduced application burden, plus increased focus on critical issues, plus enhanced ability to address complex social problems. Streamlining the application process. The expedited LOI process is designed to streamline the application process for pre-existing partner organizations. The workshop will be held on March 14, 2023, at the Santa Barbara County Courthouse. The workshop is designed to help individuals and organizations prepare for the grant application process, providing them with the necessary tools and resources to increase their chances of securing funding. Understanding the grant application process. The grant application process can be complex and daunting, especially for those who are new to it. The Fund for Santa Barbara is committed to making this process more accessible and user-friendly. The workshop will cover the basics of grant writing, including research, writing, and submission.